Welcome back to Montini Catholic High School here in Lombard. The score as we are about to begin the third quarter is Montini 41 and St. Joseph nothing. Unfortunately, the Chargers find themselves in a big hole once again after the last 2 weeks. A 48-6 loss against St. Lawrence and a 46-0 loss against St. Ignatius last week. But as I mentioned at the top, a difficult schedule for the Chargers to start this season. Their first 4 games on the road, their first 3 games against Chicago Catholic League opponents come against 3 strong Chicago Catholic League opponents in St. Lawrence, St. Ignatius, and of course Montini, always one of the best teams in the entire state, not just the Chicagoland area. So certainly a tough half for the Chargers, and it'll be 2.5 more minutes until kickoff for the second half, as they have just reset 3 minutes for the teams to warm up after a 20-minute halftime. During halftime, they did honor the 2018 state champion Montini softball team, which was also coached by the Montini head football coach, Mike Bukowski. Bukowski, in his second season at the helm for the Broncos, took over for legendary head coach Chris Andriano. Andriano led Montini to 6 state championships in his tenure. 43 years he was the head coach at Montini. And Bukowski now in his second year. Adam Pollock in his first year at the helm for St. Joseph. And as I said, there couldn't be a tougher start to your career than having to play these 4 games on the road. 3 of them in CCL divisions that are, quite frankly, considered to be the tougher divisions than the red division. Larger divisions, larger schools, larger teams, larger players in all of their first 3 CCL games. But over the next few weeks, Chargers will have a chance to play teams within their own division. Next week, it will be Leo. And the Chargers will finally have a home game next week at Elmhurst College. So excited for that. Definitely a nice home field there at Elmhurst. So next week it'll be Leo, followed by a game at DePaul Prep, Chicago Christian at home, and then Chicago Hope. And you would think those 4 games give the Chargers a chance to run off 4 straight wins. And then a tough challenge to close the season at Marmion, but Marmion also with a small roster this season. My apologies for that. That was the music playing from the schedule on Max Preps there for St. Joseph. But a chance to get 4 straight wins. And at the very least, a chance for 4 more evenly matched teams, so to speak. Let's be honest, Montini with a much larger roster than St. Joseph and a history of 6 state championships, numerous Division I players, including on this team. So a tough challenge for the Chargers to come here to Montini, but they have shown some fight, particularly in that first quarter. The first 2 drives, the Chargers made it into Bronco territory, turned it over on downs both times, unfortunately. But I have to say, even down 41-0 at the half, the Chargers have looked better than they did at St. Ignatius and even at St. Lawrence as well. They've played a more disciplined game on both sides of the football, and yes, they do trail 41-0, but as I mentioned, Montini with a lot of advantages in terms of the roster size and talent. And Montini will receive the opening kickoff of the second half which, as I mentioned, there will be a running clock for this second half. Barriga will kick it off for the Chargers. This is taken at about the 15, plenty of room, and heading for the end zone, returning the opening kickoff of the second half. That will make it 47-0. And that is Zach Olson. 90-yard kickoff return to start off the second half. It's Montini 47, St. Joseph 0. Olson just went right up the gut on that kickoff return to make it 47-0 Broncos. And the extra point makes it 48-0 on the extra point by Scott West. 10:49 to play in the third quarter. Montini 48. And St. Joseph 0. Nice night out here at Montini. At kickoff is about 76 degrees. Temperature has dropped down to 72. Just about perfect here. College football tomorrow. How about Auburn and LSU in the SEC West? Big matchup between a couple of undefeated teams. That'll be on the plains at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama, as Montini gets ready to kick off. This kick is deep, fielded by Malik Mason inside the 5. Mason trying to stiff arm his way on the right side, and he's brought down inside the 20. Running clock here in the third quarter, and at 48-0, Montini. Alabama on the road at Ole Miss. And the big game tomorrow night, Ohio State on the road at TCU without Urban Meyer in the third game of his 3-game suspension. So that one could get interesting down in Fort Worth. So it should be a fun day of college football tomorrow in week 3 as Caleb Hayden's in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands to Malik Williams. No, he fakes and keeps himself. Brought down on the right near the sideline. And no gain there. So as I mentioned for the Chargers, it will be Leo next week. And that always tends to be a pretty fun game. It's definitely seen as somewhat of a rivalry. If you go back to 2016, the first Chargers playoff team made a big comeback against Leo, and that was one of the key wins, giving them the Red Division Championship and leading to that playoff appearance as well. As players down for the Chargers. Looks as though it might be Malik Mason. And again, just as I said, any injury for St. Joseph, just even more costly than any other team just because of the size of the roster. Such a small team. So the injuries really costly as Hayden takes a snap, hands off for Malik Williams. Williams trying to bounce his way. He is tackled inside the 15-yard line for a loss with about 7.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Hayden in the shotgun here on 3rd and 13. Hayden takes the snap, looking to pass, throws deep, intercepted. Intercepted by West. West running it back now, cuts back, and he is into the end zone for an interception for a touchdown. That will make it 54-0 Montini. And West on to kick the extra point now after scoring the touchdown. And that will make it 55-0 Broncos.
West kick is good. With 5:54 remaining in the third quarter. Score, Montini Broncos 55, St. Joe's Chargers nothing.
So can the Chargers put something on the board here? You'd think Montini would put some of their backups in here up 55-0, so perhaps that provides an opportunity for the Chargers to get on the board. West is back on to kick it off. So here is West. 4.5 minutes left, and West kickoff. It's taken by Makai Eland at about the 10-yard line. Eland trying to cut back left, makes a cut towards the sideline. He's on the near side, going up the sideline at the 35, and he is out to about the 36-yard line of the Chargers, so that's where they will start here. The score is Montini 55, St. Joseph 0, with just under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Hayden takes a snap, hands off right for Malik Williams. Williams able to pick up a couple to about the 40. So it'll be 2nd down and 6. Nice gain of 4 there on first down for Malik Williams. Hayden in the shotgun, 2 backs with him. Receivers split out to each side. tight end into the formation. And Hayden will hand off for Williams. Williams weaving his way, may be able to pick up a yard. So it'll be 3rd and 6 here for the Chargers with under 2.5 minutes to play, third quarter. So Hayden in the shotgun. Hayden takes the snap, hands off for Williams. Initially stopped in the backfield, makes a cutback, trying to go to the right, and he's still brought down behind the line of scrimmage at his own 40 with 1.5 minutes to play in the third. It'll be 4th down. Penalty for a face mask. That will give the Chargers an automatic 1st down. With 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. Seconds left in the quarter. Hayden in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hands off. This is Williams. Williams running to the left. Out to about midfield. And gets actually to about the 49. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. With the score, Montini 55, St. Joseph 0. So we will switch sides. St. Joseph will go from left to right. Montini will go from right to left. So about to begin the fourth quarter here in Arena Sportsnet Chicago. We appreciate you joining us tonight. And again, if you'd like to be a sponsor, send me an email. I'm at cklingen14. That is CCLINGEN14 at gmail.com. You can also contact Mark Cisetti via Facebook or myself via Facebook. If you are connected to me on Facebook, I often post the St. Joseph basketball alumni group. Usually try to promote the broadcast in there. So any way you can get a hold of me, I would love to discuss any form of sponsorship you'd like to provide. If you'd like to get your name out there, your cause, your business, whatever it is, feel free to contact me. Again, the email address is cklingen14 at gmail.com. That is CCLINGEN14 at gmail.com. So 12 minutes left here in the fourth quarter as they will run the clock. Has been a running clock here for the entire second half. As Montini led it 41-0 at the half. Hayden will hand off for Williams to the left. He will lose a couple of yards on second down.
third down for the Chargers.
This will be third down. Chargers need to get to the 44-yard line, so third down and 6 from about midfield. Hayden in the shotgun, takes a high snap, hands off. This is Malik Williams, cuts back towards midfield and is able to gain maybe a yard.
Very short gain on the play. They'll bring up fourth down.
So fourth down for the Chargers, 4th and 5 from the 49-yard line of Montini with 10 minutes to play. Broncos with a big lead. Hayden in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers, couple of tight ends. Takes the snap, play action fake. Hayden throws downfield, and that pass is nearly intercepted. And in fact, it was intercepted. Looked like it was Zach Olson who made the interception.
That pass was intercepted by number 6, Olsen. And that will bring up a Bronco. First down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Montini with 9 minutes left in this one. Mudd back in there at quarterback. They give up the middle, fumble. Ball is loose. Who has it?
Fumble on the play.
And St. Joseph comes away with the fumble recovery.
First down, Chargers.
So 1st and 10 for St. Joe's at about the 26-yard line. So a chance to score here with 8 minutes left in the ball game.
8 minutes remaining in the ball game.
Hayden hands off for Williams to the left side. Not much doing there.
Hayden to get it to Williams. Short gain. That'll bring up second down.
So it will be 2nd and 9 for the Chargers with 7:20 to play. Oh, they'll actually say he lost a yard, so 2nd and 11. Hayden in the shotgun. Hands up the middle for Williams. Stopped after a short gain.
Williams, no gain. That'll bring up third down for the Chargers.
So it'll be 3rd and long for St. Joe's with 6.5 minutes to play. And St. Joseph calls a timeout. They have not stopped the clock here, but I believe, I'm not sure if it makes a huge difference, but 5:40 to play. Now down to 5.5 minutes. Hayden's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Gives for Williams. Not much space, maybe 4 yards. So it'll be 4th down. 5 minutes left in the ball game. Fourth and 4. Chargers trying to keep the idea of scoring alive in this game. Hayden in the shotgun, couple of backs with him in the backfield. Takes the snap, hands off to the left, and brought down for a loss there was Jordan Straughter. With 4 minutes left here in the 4th. So Montini will take over after the turnover on downs. So 3:50 left here in the ball game. The score, Montini 55, St. Joseph nothing. It's been a tough night here at Montini. If you're a Chargers fan. But as I said, some encouraging signs in that first quarter at least. And the next 4 games provide chances for the Chargers to pick up some victories. As Mudd's in the shotgun. Mudd gives up the middle and picking up the first down. Is Nick Gerbasi. Or rather, that was Enzo May who picked up the first down there for Montini. .240 to play in the game. Mudd in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hands for May, and he is tackled after a short gain. So it'll be 2nd down and long. We will bring you next week's game against Leo. That is the first home game of the season for the Chargers and homecoming. So we will have that for you right here on arenasportsnetchicago.com. So tune in what should be a great game, a great rivalry between St. Joseph and Leo as this run goes up the middle. Flag is thrown. Leo and St. Joe's, always a close game. Last year, battled in the Chicago Catholic League playoffs. 2 years ago, the Chargers with a big comeback to win that game and help them clinch the Chicago Catholic League Red. This player is down for the Chargers. And Brandon Pickett is the injured player. He will head to the sidelines. As the clock runs down, under 40 seconds left in this one. And there was a penalty flag thrown, so I'm not sure if the game can just end, but realistically, that would be fine as the game does indeed just come to an end here with the final score, the Montini Broncos 55 and the St. Joseph Chargers 0. Tough game for the Chargers. But next week against Leo, tune in on arenasportsnetchicago.com as the Chargers look to pick up their first win of the season. Thank you for joining us tonight. For all of us here at Arena Sportsnet, I'm Connor Klingon saying so long and tune in next week.